Okay, Mandy, I'm going to just show you two ways to do the table of contents. Okay, so if you have a new Word document, one of the things you can do is if you go here to References, and over here you're going to see Table of Contents, and you can insert your table of contents. So let's just say we pick this one, and here's going to be my table of contents, and it's going to say creating a table of contents. Start by applying a heading style from the Styles gallery to the selected text. What this is asking you here is when you have text in your document, it's going to ask you to indicate which of the text you want to add to the table of contents. So I'm just going to click OK. So there's nothing here because I don't have anything. So I'm just going to go down to a new page. Let's go to a new page right here. And I'm going to start a new heading. So let's just say I'm starting a new heading. And here on my home page, I'm going to call this heading 1. Okay. And you can change the color of your heading, for instance, because if I start typing this Mandy's example, okay, notice that it's blue and that's not APA and that's not the right APA format. So I'm gonna back off here and I'm gonna keep this in heading 1, and I'm going to say I'm going to modify it, and I'm going to change my font color to black. I'm going to change this to Times New Roman, and I'm going to change it to 12 because I'm assuming that's APA. And I'm going to say Mandy's example of APA table of contents. Okay. And so I'm going to write a bunch of stuff, right? Blah, 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 blah. Let me go down my page so you can see what I'm blah-blahing. Okay, and so let's just say you have a subheading because my table of contents maybe has a subheading, and I'm going to do heading 2. Okay, so again, I'm going to right-click my heading 2 because I want to modify it, and I want it again to be Times New Roman. I want it to be 12, and I want it to be black. And I'm going to click OK. This is a, whoops, hang on, I need to make it a heading. So I'm going to click heading 2. This is a sub heading. Okay, so now you've written your paper and you've got a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm going to go back to where I inserted my table of contents, and you'll notice it turns blue, and I'm going to click on it, and it's going to ask me to update the table. So I'm going to update the table, and because of the way that I selected my heading 1, heading 2, notice heading 1 would be a main heading, heading 2 would be a subheading. So that's how you would create your table of contents. I'm going to give you an example of if your document is already created. So I'm just going to go here. I'm doing a talk on forgiveness in church. So I am here and I'm going to, because I've already written my document, and I'm going to go here to references, and I'm going to insert a table of contents, and I'm going to go to this one again. So here's my table of contents. There's nothing there because I haven't designated what headings. So if I go to forgiveness, and I'm going to designate it as heading 1. Okay, so again, I want to modify it because it's not Times New Roman. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to go to 12, and I'm going to make this black. Okay, so that's going to be my talk. So I've now made that a heading. Update my table. There's forgiveness. Let's just say this is going to be a subheading. Okay, so I'm going to do heading 2. So you'll notice that there's heading 1 and heading 2. And again, I'm going to modify this because I want it to be Times New Roman. I want it to be 12. It's kind of a pain in the rear that you have to change this. I think there's probably a way that you can default set it, but I'm not real sure. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to update my table. And then it's going to say update page numbers only or update entire table. And I always want to click the update entire table because then it adjusts your page numbers for you. Oops, I didn't make that a subheading. Didn't click it correctly. Okay, there we go. So now I can update my table, update entire table, and that's going to give me my subheading. And then your page numbers are going to be added as needed. So hopefully that helps you.